the tip. I will start this one off with the word sin. Now, a lot of you are all too comfortable with the word sin, especially if you happen to be a religious follower or true believer. We've been taught that sin is anything negative done against God, correct? Well, at least that's what we've been taught. However, when you look up the etymology of the word, sin just means guilt. However, it was used by certain religious institutions to put into the minds of slaves, whether they knew they were slaves or not, that everything they did, even being born, was a sin and against God, and in order to be in God's favor, you got to do such and such and such and such and such. And a lot of times, especially these days, to get rid of sin or to be one of God or chosen by God, selected by God, is to claim to be, or to claim a specific figure as their Lord and Savior, and then they would be saved. However, people go on and keep doing the same old so-called sinful things, and just because they call out a certain name of a specific figure, that everything is alleviated. Now, as I said, the etymology of the word sin references to guilt. And all of us know when we're doing something that violates specific rules, specific principles, and ways of life. All of us know. You ever watched a little child? Well, improper word. You ever watch a young man or a young woman, progeny, playing in the house, and all of a sudden they'll get to something that they know that they don't touch or haven't touched. And if you watch them specifically, they will look around at the grown-up or whatever adult in the room and attempt to communicate in a way to see if it's okay to touch that specific thing or to commit a certain action. Even babies know. So we can't walk around acting like when we do something that we weren't aware that we were doing something improper or something that was unrighteous. That's something that's been instilled in us even before we were born. I mean, it's interesting because you got certain predatory animals that will prey on whatever their prey is. And it's even certain things that they don't do. Okay? Because they know it's against natural law. However, mankind, humankind, we will know something that's negative, goes against the grain, and we'll still do it anyway. Most often for pleasure, and extremely most often is because we feel that there are certain things that we could take over and change to our accord, not realizing you're dealing with other people, okay? And it's up to other people to make decisions as to how they're going to do and deal with certain things, okay? Now, let's get into prayer or pray. Now, the way prayer was set up, it taught us, in so many words, subjectively, to separate ourselves from God. We're taught to pray for good fortune. We're taught to pray for this. We're taught to pray for that. However, if you wish to be in good fortune, that's something you have to decide to do. If you wish to be a better person, that's something you got to decide to do. See, when we separate ourselves from God or the Creator, we're separating ourselves from our true, real, divine selves. Okay? I prefer meditation, contemplation, because it puts the responsibility in the hands of you. when you meditate and there's something that you wish to accomplish, a particular goal in mind, a particular action or course you must take, that's you doing that. Regardless of whatever you wish to bring in, that's you that's got to do it. And you can't put that on a God or a devil, especially when you make the decision in order to do that. So the same thing with prayer. Don't put your power outside of yourself. Claim your power. It says in the Bible in many scriptures that ye are gods. Ye are gods in the becoming. Ye are like the Elohim. Elohim. You are the God. So if you're a God, there's no reason to pray. You just do. Contemplate, meditate, do. Okay. Next word is problem. Problem, I've been taught, when you break it down, it's composed of two words: probable and blame, or probable blame. And when we are faced with problems, we seem to think that problems are unsolvable. However, they are. However, one way to look at the things is to look at a problem, or a so-called problem, for what it really is: a challenge, an opportunity for you to once again embrace the true power you already have and move through that challenge and or obstacle as you can with any other thing. It's all on you. The purpose of these videos is to aid in giving you all the formulas to allow you to take back and use your own power. Okay? Next word is program. Now, those of us who are interested in computers know that a program is a system that's set up to allow the computer or a particular device to work along specific lines. And that also dealing with the mental sciences. Programs are subjective constructs that have been used through time to allow us, or to allow ourselves to function along certain lines. Period. So just like you can program a computer to one day do just basic calculations, and then the next day it can do complex or more challenging computations. You can do the same thing with your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. All it takes is effort. Understand why you do a particular thing negatively, why you choose to make improper decisions. Once you get to that point where you can understand the why and back up why you do things, all that's left to do then is to challenge yourself and allow yourself to make decisions that are opposite of that, and to be conscious of it. One important thing about this science, or the science dealing with mentalism, especially words and verbal commands, is to accept responsibility for the things you have done, negatively and positively, especially negatively. It goes back to one of the phrases or set of words that I used in one of the previous videos in this series, the Frankenstein syndrome, which is individuals not appreciating and accepting the responsibility for that which they have created. And I see this a lot within some of my individuals who wish to call specific people devils and not really fess up to what certain ancestors of ours did and actions that they committed to allow those specific individuals to manifest into who they are. Now that's a challenge. So at this time, I will sign off on this one, and stay tuned to the next post that will come. Hotel.